So this clip is called Cowboy Bebop's Real Folk Blues Revival. Mason Lieberman tells all. This project's like the official Cowboy Bebop charity vinyl that you worked on. You did an arrangement with like a multitude of guests, to put it very
gently.
Gently, exactly. How do you navigate integrating like such diverse talents into and maintaining one musical vision in all of that? That's
I would say it helped a lot that there wasn't that much else I needed to be doing at the exact moment it happened, because the world had shut down.
Yeah.
That project came together so fast. I literally posted on Facebook, "Hey, I think that we're all at home right now. Does anyone want to maybe jump on a new cover with me? I'm thinking maybe Bob on Battlefield or Real Folk Blues or something. We'll figure it out." And a lot of those musicians, there's a bunch of really amazing guests, but those were actually just the people who I mostly collaborate with regularly. Like those are just my friends. And so, I work with Tina Guo on occasion. I work with Substantial and Mega Ran on occasion. I work with Zed Tabani on occasion. And so sooner, it just all kind of came together very organically. Of people started jumping on, and I started producing it and making it. And I would just go, "Oh, it would be really great if we could have live strings here." Well, I'll make a call. Let's just see who's available. Because, within a day or two of starting it, I quickly realized, I was like, there's no way that I could afford performance fees for all of these people. So obviously we're doing this for charity. All right, let's figure out a way to do some good with this. Let's, raise money for a good cause. And over time, it just sort of snowballed. It sounded good, and so people wanted to be on it. And as people got on it, more people wanted to be on it. And before you knew it, I had the full arrangement done and ready to go with all the performances on it within about 2 weeks, within 14 days or so. And so at that point, I had a full recording. It sounded great, of just about everything that you hear in the final version, with roughly one very big exception, one thing that hadn't arrived yet, which was Yoko Kanno and the seatbelts.
Right.
And what ended up happening is Raj Ramaya, who is a singer who's known
I just interviewed him. That's crazy. Yeah.
So Raj was on the track already, and he said, "Hey, if you had any interest in collaborating with Sunrise or something, I could make an introduction. You could try pitching it." And I was like, that would be amazing. So I pitched to Sunrise. I had a prior history working with Funimation, so I pitched to Funimation myself. They were down. Sunrise Music, which is who I initially talked to, was down. Sunrise Music introduced me to Sunrise, the studio, the animation studio itself, because they were different, subsidiary departments. And during the meeting with Sunrise, they basically said, "Hey, we love this. We think this is really cool. We don't want to get your hopes up. And we want to set a expectation, but for you to distribute this in Japan, you would need the consent of the original author, of the original composer and lyricist. So Yuho Iwasato and Yoko Kanno, for the lyricist and composer respectively, would have to sign off on this, which is different than compulsory licensing in the West. It's a different process. And so I was like, wow, okay. I mean, I guess that means they're going to send a copy of something I worked on to Yoko Kanno? That's crazy. Oh, well, I won't get my hopes up, but hopefully she doesn't, hate it so much that she tells them that I can't do it. And 5 days of radio silence go by, and then I get an email in my spam filter through my website's contact form saying, "Hello, this is Kanno-san's representative. I am the president of Yoko Kanno's company. Yoko Kanno wished to say that she has heard your music. Yoko Kanno wished to say that she liked your music. Yoko Kanno was wondering if you have heard of a band that she is involved with called the Seatbelts, and if you would be willing to perhaps feature them in your arrangement." And I was just like, yes, I've heard of the fucking Seatbelts. What? Oh my God. Yes, tell me anything she would like, I would be honored. Please tell Kanno-san that I would love to feature her in the seatbelts. Please tell me how we can do that. A day or two of radio silence, and then I get back an alpha, so like a video where all of those squares, like the music video had been in progress at that point. She sent back a alpha thing that we just slotted over the video of all those things popping in and out. So her or her team or whoever it was did that edit themselves. They just did it. And they sent us a stereo recording of the entire band playing. So no stems, just straight up the recording. And I was like, oh, my engineer is going to hate me. He's about to have to figure out how to work with this, with them just playing over the top. But I'm not about to go back to Yoko Kanno and say, hey, actually, could you stem this out for me and send me raw video files? And I'd really like to do this myself. No. She's Yoko Kanno. I'm going to do whatever she says. So, that was how we got those files. And I basically ended up going through the arrangement and I artfully tried to carve out certain sections to allow as much space as possible for her band to perform and sound good. Because remember, at that point, there was already an electric bassist and a drummer and a full ensemble playing at the end of that song. And then she just layered over the top of it, basically. So I was like, okay, we're going to figure out how to do this with two bassists. Or maybe one of them's just going to stop right here. Oh, but Kanno's bassist is playing acoustic bass and we had electric. Oh, man. I'm going to have to find a way to make this sound good. I have to give credit to the mix engineer, Masahiro Aoki, who is himself a legendary composer. I am so honored to get to work with him sometimes. He was the lead composer of Street Fighter V, amongst many other things. Absolute rock star. One of the greatest guitarists in Japan. And he was mixing. And so, we had fun. We had a good time.
That sounds like I'm so mind blown. Because I remember watching that when during the pandemic, and I make cover anime song stuff on Spotify and YouTube. That's I do it for fun, and this show is trying to kind of complements that with speaking to people like you. But just I had no idea this was was happening, and this dropped, and I really want to forget that we're in an interview for a second. Human to human during that time when I think a lot of people's mental health, even mine, we're going down because we didn't know what was happening.
It was a tough time for all of us.
Exactly.
Objective. That's why I wanted to do it, is because we needed something to do.
You helped me in that way. That's what I'm trying to say. You helped me in that way, and to know the story of that, I really appreciate you having the initiative and the wherewithal to pursue it to the end. That's Mason. That's incredible. That's really that really touches me to hear that story. I'm really grateful to even know the background of the production of this is so interesting to me as a huge fan. Fan.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
I say pretty regularly that it is one of the most meaningful projects I think I've ever gotten to be a part of. And all of the people who are a part of that production with me are people who mean so much to me. And so, it has been something that has, in a really wonderful way, kind of followed me around ever since.
If you haven't already, we're back here. I'm here with Morgan, JaianMusic Notes. That was a long clip. Yeah, wow. Go watch that full interview, guys. There's so many gems in there.
Yeah, that's really cool. And Bebop's one of my favorites. My favorites too. It's really cool, and it's gonna definitely once we're done this recording, I'll have to go back and check out that cover because I don't think I've heard it since probably COVID. Really really cool stuff. It's that's kind of the fun thing about sometimes you want to work with artists. I can't tell you how many times I've heard someone being like, oh, just in case, it's probably not going to go anywhere, but I'll reach out just to see, you reach out to artists you like or whatever. And you figure they probably won't reply. And the odds are they won't reply. But, if you do it a couple of times, you might be lucky, they might. The chance is never zero, and this is the proof of that right there.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It's one of the like I want to like when he's talking the whole time, like obviously you get his POV, like his camera, the camera's on him, but like my mouth is like wide open, and I'm like, I am currently speaking. I am officially 1 degree away through this interview to Yoko Kanno because of this conversation with Mason Lieberman, and to know like the background of how like a really touching cover occurred really is insane. It's so insane to like know the background of that and to be like able to like talk to these people. Mason Lieberman, I just reached out on his website, and like within the same hour he was like, yeah, I'm down to come on your show. I couldn't believe it.
Nice.
So yeah, very, very cool clip.